Everyone, back tuning into today's second video. It's long range day at Gasworthy's today, so I've already done the spring forecast. If you haven't seen it yet, you can find that on the homepage or on the spring forecast and updates page. We're going for a slightly milder than average spring, also a bit wetter than average as well. But we do think that there could be some pretty significant cold weather at some point through the spring. Might be in March, might be in April. It might be going from March to April. I think at some point we will get a week or two of pretty significantly cold weather. So we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. As ever, when we get to the end of the update or the end of the forecast period, we will evaluate and see how we did. This is a sneak peek for the summer, because now we've dealt with the spring forecast, we will be, from next month, moving on to summer updates. So we'll do 3 of them, one in March, one in April, and then the final and official forecast will be in May, getting together all the long range seasonal models as we always do. So I thought I'd just have a very quick sneak peek at 1 or 2 of those models in advance for the summer updates beginning from next month. But before we get on with that, just say about the ads. There's links to articles on all the pages. Have a browse through widgets and click through the links if there's any articles that you're interested in. Thanks very much for doing that. There's also video ads on those pages which overlap with the content. When you watch them, they'll close back up again. So the models, we'll look at those in a second. Well, we've got 4 of them to look at. But the main point about this summer is probably going to be the unravelling of El Nino. So as we know, we've had this very strong, almost record-breaking strong El Nino going on. And of course, this is the signature of El Nino through the equatorial part of the Pacific Ocean just there. It's weakening very gradually. Did the El Nino update yesterday. It is weakening very gradually, but it's taking a long time to go. And the question really as we go into the summer is whether we're just going to move back to ENSO neutral condition, or weak El Nino to ENSO neutral, or whether we're going to go to a cold event, whether we're going to get a La Nina. This is the latest sea surface temperature anomaly chart from NOAA. And there's no real sign at the moment of a cold event developing. What we look for to see when we're going to get a cold event, a La Nina, after the El Nino, is to find the waters around here turning cold, and also up here as well. And when that happens, you get a bit of a pincer movement with both areas of cold sea surface temperature anomalies moving into the equatorial part of the Pacific Ocean. When that happens, it can shift you into La Nina. Now, this is important. Although it's in the Pacific Ocean, it's a very, very long way away. This is important for summer because there appears to be a connection between years that flip very quickly from El Nino to La Nina, having poor summers. And I'm thinking specifically of years such as 1988, 1998, and also most recently this happened was in 2007, which was the year of the floods. It was a terrible, terrible summer. I'm sure it's still etched on your memory. It just poured with rain, really from the end of May bank holiday through to the middle of August. The rain didn't stop. So that was a year that had a very quick flip from El Nino to La Nina, and as I say, there are several other years that had this very quick transition from El Nino to La Nina through the course of the summer, and they do appear to coincide with relatively poor summers as well. Conversely, though, the years that just slip very gradually back from El Nino just to El Nino neutral, and so neutral, they appear to coincide with potentially very hot summer. So 1983 is one of those. Had an incredibly hot July. There was also 2003 that did the same. Just went from El Nino back to ENSO neutral. Didn't go to a cold event. Just very gradually shifted back into neutral ENSO condition. And the summer of 2003 was very, very hot, particularly focused on a dramatic heat wave that occurred through the first half of August. So I think what's going on with ENSO and El Nino, and whether we go to this La Nina or not, will be quite an important player really through the course of this summer. See what kind of summer we're going to get. So the CanSITS model is one of the models that's going for a quick shift into La Nina. So this is from Canada, and this is the sea surface temperature anomaly map forecast for March. There's the signature of El Nino still there in the equatorial part of the Pacific Ocean. But as we run through, look what happens very quick, get through to May. those red colours are disappearing. By June, already by June, we're beginning to see blue colours emerging through the central part of the equatorial Pacific Ocean, and that just strengthens through the summer months, July, August. By August, we've got a pretty strong, quite an intense cold event developing there through the equatorial part of the Pacific. That's a very quick shift from El Nino to La Nina, coinciding with the summer months. If we saw anything like that, I think we'll probably have a fairly poor summer, especially later on. Maybe not too bad early May, June, but as we get later on, I think we would probably have a pretty grim old time of it if we had a shift to a strong La Nina such as that very, very quickly. We'll be keeping an eye on ENSO and El Nino and La Nina and all the rest of it through the next 2 or 3 months. So have a look at a few models very quickly before we go. We're going to start off with the NASA model. This is experimental, 500 millibar heights. This is the 500 millibar height anomaly for the summer, June, July, August. We've got the red and orange colours in there across the UK and much of Central Western Europe as well. This is very good if you want a hot summer. This is the sort of thing you want to be looking for, because the jet stream is going like that. It's pushing well to the north of us. We're within a ridge of high pressure, but it is actually centred across central parts of Europe, so I'd expect a pretty hot pattern from that. If you have a look at the temperature anomaly for the summer, that's coming out significantly warmer than average, as it is through most of Europe as well, so a very warm, if not a hot summer being predicted there by the NASA model. The rainfall anomaly, the precipitation anomaly, that one is coming out a bit below average, and you expect, of course, because we're close to a ridge of high pressure that's sitting to the east. So NASA going for a very good summer. CFS V2, though, that's going for a fairly mediocre summer. So what CFS wants to do is have the ridge out in the central part of the Atlantic. It means that the jet stream, it probably as a trough within the 700 millibar flow, is coming through the country and going something like that. So we're bringing the jet stream right through the country. So usually far to the south for the summer. It means that the temperature anomaly is no better than average, and actually for most of Western Europe hinting at being a little bit cooler than average, whereas the precipitation anomaly is not as bad as it could be, really. So Scandinavia and Central Europe coming out wetter than average. For the UK, we're coming out closer to average, looking okay down across Spain, close to that ridge of high pressure down there. But I think overall that's a pretty mediocre summer being indicated by the CFS V2, with the jet stream more or less moving through the country to trough within the 700 millibar flow. Also going for a fairly poor summer is the Beijing Climate Centre. This is a 500 millibar height anomaly from June to August. That's going for a ridge up to the north and a trough down to the south. Bit of northern blocking being hinted at there, actually, and it means that the flow is going a bit like that. If you have a look at the temperature anomaly, that's coming out below average, so quite a cold, or, well, it wouldn't be cold in the summer, but quite a cool summer being indicated there by the Beijing Climate Centre, with temperatures below average, and the rainfall anomaly coming out a bit wetter than average as well. So that's not a very good summer at all from the BCC. Again, the idea is that I've got a ridge, probably as northern blocking really, sitting up to the north, and a trough down to the south. So it implies that the jet stream is probably on a northwest-southeast trajectory, something like that. It's drifting or coming into the south of that ridge. Generally quite a poor summer being indicated there by the Beijing Climate Centre. Finally, the JAMSTEC model for the summer. I've actually got to see some temperatures up there, so just quickly change that over to surface air temperature. We can see that the JAMSTEC is actually going for a slightly warmer than average summer, quite a hot summer being predicted for most of Europe. For the UK, it's just a little bit above average, but nevertheless, it is a fairly warm summer being indicated there. Scandinavia, Western Europe coming out with quite a cool summer. So temperatures above average with JAMSTEC for this summer. In terms of the precipitation, that's coming out drier than average as well. So that's why the temperatures are okay and above average, because there's probably quite a bit of ridging going on there close to the country. So a bit of a mixed bag. We only looked at 4 of them, and it's very early days, but they're split. Before we've looked at our split between 2 going for a fairly poor summer, CFS V2 and Beijing Climate Centre, and 2 that's going for a good summer, particularly the NASA model. Jamstec is just a little bit warmer than average, but particularly the NASA model, that's going for really quite a hot pattern anyway, with high pressure across central parts of Europe, no doubt pumping in some pretty high temperatures off the continent. I think it's going to hinge a lot this summer on what's happening with ENSO and El Nino, whether we're just going to go back from this El Nino to a El Nino neutral, whether we're going to shift it quickly to La Nina. It's still to be determined what's going to happen with that. There's no real sign at the moment in the Pacific of La Nina, but it's still early days, and we'll know more. We'll start knowing more around April, I think, and we'll definitely know more around May or June where this is going when we get past the spring predictability barrier. Right, that's it for now. So go and check out the spring update or spring forecast if you've not done it yet. As I say, from next month we'll have regular updates once a month, looking at all long range models for the summer, and we'll also be keeping an eye on El Nino and La Nina and all that kind of thing as well. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.